to Trading Lounge and the European Indices for the 19th of June, starting with the DAX here on the daily chart here. We've got, well, starting from the low here, we've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 3. Then we'll be looking at wave 4, and then we'll be looking for another move up for wave 5. So from wave 4 to wave 5 here, we're looking for 5 waves, wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, roughly. So let's go in and have a look at that. Picking it up on this reference point low here, we'd been counting up as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, back for wave 2. Didn't pull back to the 50-60% retracement level, but certainly checked in at the 12,000, and we're looking for wave 3 to the upside here now. So yeah, I'll just move, oops. That there, didn't pull back there, that's fine. Yeah, so obviously here just this, well, do it this way. So this is the length of wave 1 roughly, just with a, so we'd expect wave 3 here to be longer than wave 1 here. So that's the length of wave 1. So we will definitely be going to that point here. So we're likely to be going further up than that as well. So I'll just pop that up there. May even reach the 13,000 at that point. We'll see. It doesn't, I mean, if wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, then wave 5 is going to be very short, or shorter than all of them, because wave 3 cannot be the smallest structure. Let's go in and have a look at this though. So wave 4 low here, we've been counting, as you may know, up for wave 1 here. And even this was quite simple here, it still gave me a bit of a hard time. So wave A, ABC for wave B, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then there'll be 5 waves in this little sequence here. You'd have to go smaller to figure that out, but there'll be 5 waves. So from B to C there was 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So the idea was to pretty much take the tops out of here. You may have gotten in a little bit earlier, that's fantastic. We can move that stop up here somewhat. Let me just check this out for a moment here. I'll just check it at this point. Right, let me just go to the tick chart. I'll come back to this chart here. I just want to figure this out a bit here. So this is the low 2 wave here. So I was thinking that a little bit hard to see all this squashed up in here, but this is of the same structure. So we'll look at that as 1 and 2 here. It's quite interesting this too, because in this case we've got a strong wave 1 here, right? And then we've got wave 3 here, which looks a little bit smaller or roughly the same size here, but then we've got the smaller wave wave 5 here. So the power was in the first one, the second one slowed, second impulse wave slowed down, and the third impulse wave slowed down even further. Technically speaking, and this is what I was just sort of figuring out in the background while I was yakking, is that wave 2 could actually potentially come back to the 50-60% retracement level here. So if you're long, then you've got some things to work out here. So it's possible, probably not looking at the S&P 500, but it's possible. I mean, this could also still be building to the upside as well. I mean, even though I've counted as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and it may probably be right, but also too, the variation on this could be up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2, up for 1 and back for 2, and continue to be sort of well, cascading to the upside. So it's not going to pull back, obviously, if this is the supply level here. So if this market, I mean, at the moment, I can look at this as this here as an A and a B and a C wave moving up here. I'd have to check it on a smaller scale to pull that apart. But if the 12,350 became the support, then this market's going to climb higher. And it's not that the wave 2 has to pull back to this area here. I mean, sometimes it just pulls back to the wave 4 of 1 less degree here. So they can be shallow. I mean, there's a good example, isn't it? I mean, it's kind of, I mean, this is wave 1 here, and this is wave 2 here. So it really didn't even pull back to the 4th wave of 1 lesser degree here. So it's possible that this is a fingerprint for this larger pattern. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. Obviously, that we're just coming back to, this is down at 12,129. So on the hourly chart here, 129. So technically the stop really needs to stay about here. So the way that you can deal with that, you know, because there's a lot to lose in all of this here, is that you could take part profit if you wanted to, but I don't think that's the right thing to do. I think the right thing to do is take a deep breath, is to breathe, because we're in the perfect position really for a stronger wave to the upside here, because we've got wave 1 here and wave 2, and this is potentially wave 1 and potentially wave 2 here. So I don't think I've made any, no, this is all pretty cut and dry in here. I was just thinking this could be a 4th wave here and a 5th wave here, but I think that we're just going to hold on here. If you wanted to take part profit, then take it here. Because this is at 300. This is another point too, is that at 300 here, let me just have a little look at this, how it's dealt with that there. I mean, it's done all the right things. It's had the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and now we're looking for a correction. So I believe that we could have this correction, but I would be wrong if that 12,350 became the support. Then it would just continue to the upside. I think we're just going to hold long, because whichever way we look at it, this market's going higher and we're in the perfect structure. So we're just going to stay with this as it is for the time being. No, we're in the perfect position. I mean, and if it does pull back into this space, we can look to buy more here. And the way that you would do that here, let's just imagine that it did come back in here. Then just draw, I'll just grab this line here. Just take the high here and the second high here and go long again from that point. We would like to build in on the third of the third here on this structure. So or another way to do that is, I'll leave that there just in case that happens, but also too, let's just copy this and put it on top here, because I know I've already looked at that wave structure. So if that moves above that, then add another position here. Right, the other market. So we'll go to the UK to start with. It's in a slightly different pattern to the upside here. Whichever way you look at it, there's going to be some sort of stalling corrective pattern at the 500 here, 7,500. And also, well, history here has should reflect that as well. But at the same time, this whole trend to the upside's certainly not finished. I could count this in a different way with all of this here, but I'll just go to the hourly chart. It has sort of bothered me a little bit. What's bothered me is this little section down here. I mean, currently I've got it as wave 1 here and wave 2 here and wave 3 here and wave 4 here. This would be in line with Australia and also the US as well here. But even so, it's still not finished to the upside. So here we can look at this as wave 1 and 2 here, and we can just move these across now. You can see that structure there anyway. So it'll be something like that. Maybe not so high here. Well, we want to be down around 30 at the top, because that's group 1 up there, of course. Yeah, so it's got a bit more to play out, so we can move that up into this space. And let's have a look at France and Italy. So France, the same thing as well, slightly different pattern here again. I mean, if I match this up with the US or the UK, then we'll have wave 4 here, but I just don't see it because we've got 1 and 2. Oh, maybe there's a possibility. But even so, we're not done here yet either, so I'll just copy these here. It's nice if you can see your mistakes before they actually occur. That's too small for wave 3, so I'm thinking that this would be wave 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and wave 5 here. I have to think about this for a bit longer. I have to go back in and sort this area out here. This is if I've made a mistake, it's in here. And what I mean by that is 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and 5 here for that. That's what. But I'll need to go and check that out. Okay, but anyway, from here, in terms of, I mean, the most important thing about trading at the end of the day is winning. So okay, so I mean, technically it's possible for wave 4 to pull back into this space, so we'll just leave the stop out of the way here. If you wanted to, you could also take part profit up into this space here as well, because it's at 500 here. It's going to stick here. Take about 30% here. Or more. Doesn't have to, but it's possible for it to move back into this space, and then wave 5 up here, and then a corrective move from this point. So it's on this one here that we'd want to take profit once you get to the top of that or close to it. But I can't have that as a third wave because it's just too small. I've got some work to do. I'm not going to drag you into that at the moment, but we're on the right track. Let's just leave it at that. And also too, Italy will be pretty much the same as well, so that's all cool. We've got this as a third wave moving up here as well. We're certainly moving like a third wave, which is good. So I will have to just put that there for the time being. That can stay. We need this one. It's probably not even in there yet either. I think it's doing what the US is doing. So we've got I better check it out on the tick chart. So we have to move this across here. Okay. I see some little guys here. I need the blue ones. One, two, this is a third wave coming in here, fourth and fifth. So 21,300 here. If you wanted to take part profit there, that would be good, but that would just be, well, we'll need that sooner or later. Don't need that now. 3, 4 and 5 here. Okay. This can pull back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. This has still got a little bit more to go to the upside here to make this one here. Let's just say 21.3. This can pull back here. Then this can move up to 21.5 here for this wave 3 here. So still more to go here for this. That's pretty clear to me. Some things I know, some things I don't know, and it's important for even for yourselves to be honest with yourselves when you're trading as well, and not get lost in the emotion. Is to try and stay with the evidence, with the facts of what you know and what you don't know, and what you think you don't know, and so on. So, but definitely 1 and 2 here, and 3. So we'll be looking for this wave 4 to play out in one way or another. But I'd certainly hold through that, and then we can move up into this area. So just coming back to the 1 hour chart here. Yeah, we're not going to take any profit here. I suppose we can get in a stop at least. So we'll just stay here. We want to stay out of the way of this 4th wave here. And I'll just put it back here, and I'll put this up here, keep it there. Yep, that's all good. So a longer term target is 21.5 here. Will we get there? Don't know, but it looks about right. So we'll just stay with that for the time being. I mean, really, this... I mean, this wave 1 here to this point here, we need to see wave 3 move this across here. we need to see wave 3 longer than wave 1, so that brings us in quite nicely at that point, and that's the 1618, so that's all good. Yeah, I think we're on the right track there. Yeah. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Alrighty, thanks for tuning in, and thank you for the support, much appreciated. Cheers.